And time for another coffee with Kilroy, or what I sometimes call beverage in a book. My beverage, well, I'm going to have me some coffee. And the book today is Delta 6 Patrol D6 Solitaire Wargame. It's from the Art of Wargames, but the Art of Wargames is I believe it's a company or self-published company from Joe Fernandez, which I have I've covered Forward Together, and I can't recall if I've looked at these other ones yet. I might have. They might be on my list to pick up and take a look at. But these games right here, or at least I believe these are all in the same vein. This is the one I've covered, and I'll put a link to that in the description down below. But these really are more of a war game in a book type format. I mean, there's advanced rules, there's scenarios, and there basically is something that you could you might have a little bit of a do-it-yourself to make the components to play the game, but it's kind of a war game in a book, and I found this one very interesting. And as you can see, they cover a variety of topics, but basically focuses on modern warfare, which is what this one does as well. It really doesn't go into any kind of straight up theme in there, like Vietnam War or like these other ones, specific conflicts. Have me some coffee here, but it's more of a kind of a generic modern day combat simulation, but done in a very simplified manner. But so let's get inside this book and see what we have in store for us. So there is Joe Fernandez right there. There's Art of Wargames logo. You have your introduction here, which talks about it's very much a tactical system. So this is small unit tactical, or I call it small unit tactical, is platoon level and below. So platoon, squad, individual, teams, individual, the like. So you got 2-page rule book. So that's the rules here. 2 pages right there. How to play 2 geomorphic maps, player aid, mission table, mission log. Tells you how to set up. You're going to need to supply your own D6 dice. Delta 6 Patrol includes 10 missions, but the 10 missions are on, I guess, each of the 2 maps. So I guess 20 missions, I guess you can do. But you're supposed to randomly generate them to see which mission you're going to be going on. Here's the maps and terrain. Here's the player units. And you're kind of be setting those up. You've got specialists. Players may use mission points to recruit 1 specialist per mission. Specialists are not an integral part of the D6 patrol element. They are marked by a player aid, and their dice roll modifier, or DRM, or dice roll modifiers, are abilities applied accordingly. So you've got leadership, sniper, pointman, and medic on there. You've got equipment. You've got formation. You've got team in action. And here's your sequence of play. Again, this is a simplified simulation where you're just rolling dice to see what your contact is, if you have contact, and then what happens in that contact. Here's movement, terrain effects. Here's combat. As you can see, not overly complicated, just kind of 2 paragraphs there for combat. Casualties, important notes, and about the game. So there you have it. So those are the 2 pages of rules. So very simplified D6 game here. Here's how to play. So it kind of gives you an overview of how to use this book. So you got that synopsis on 1 page there. Here are your missions. So there are the 10 missions, plus you got 2 bonus missions there. Which is going to have which map you use. So I guess you don't have 20 because this is going to tell you which map you go to. Mission points you have to use, the number of turns, I guess your start location, I guess your objective location, and then what is this right here? The LZ, and then the special instructions and victory conditions. So you have all that comprised on a simple chart right there. And I don't know if this is the make your own missions here. Not certain, because there's other places for notes. Now, this is the thing about this game that I think it's an interesting system. I think it is. It's very much more. It's much more simplified than the Joe Fernandez's previous games. Again, I'm only really speaking for the one I have familiarity with, but I think the other ones have similar look and feel. So this is much more simplified version, but it's what you get in this book. I mean, the book is not overly expensive, but still, there's a lot of blank pages. So this is all blank. You turn here, and that page is 4 and 5, and you're like, what? Did I miss something here? I mean, I guess this is so you could pull this out, but I mean, you can also copy this, if you wanted to. This is blank because it's the back part of the player aid that's on there. So, I mean, when I first took a real quick look at this, when I opened it up, I was like, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know how much I hate wasted space, especially like on the back of rule books, where slop up, put a player aid on there, put a chart on there, do something that makes it somewhat useful. I just hate having big open blank space, and that might come from the days when I was an editor of a journal back in the day, and you had to formatting and having everything had its place. I don't know. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Here's your player aid. Here's your mission. So you roll up that mission, then if it tells you use map 1, this is going to be map 1, and the maps are fine. I like the maps. The maps are what you should expect from these kind of game booklets, especially the ones that are kind of self-published. I think this is a fine map. Then you have all your player aid here, specialist equipment formation, your sequence of play, your train effects, rolling the dice for no contact, where the contact moves, your turn direction. Remember, each mission has a different set of turns. Sorry, I'm going off the page here. And then some of the modifiers for it. So you have everything right there, and then page. And then what do we get? We get another big open space page. And then you have another player aid, which I believe is the same as the previous one, but you have map 2, and then blank space, and then here's your mission log to keep track of your different missions, and then you got another one here. I mean, why they didn't print on the back page of it, I don't know. Yeah. And then you got another open space. Then you got a big open space for player notes. Well, you could have done player notes on all the other stuff, I guess, if you wanted to. Now, they did do the player notes on the back of this one, and then you've got player notes. So you've got a lot of news for player notes where maybe extra charts would have been helpful. There's some of the roll-in rights. They just do you'll do multiple copies of the same page, and there's a couple of Wargame roll-in rights that I've covered where that's what they've done. So really, you get like a couple pages of rules, and you get like 40 pages or 30 pages or 20 to 30 to 40. I can't know how much pages they have, but 20 plus pages of just the same charts over and over again, the same page, which is your game page. And I looked at that and go, oh, that's kind of weird. I can make a copy. That's really, this book could have been 3 pages, but I understand that. This one, this book could have been a lot less because of some of the open pages here as well. But anyway, this one is more of a war game in a book and much more developed. I would imagine these two are as well. And for some reason, I felt like I've covered that. I need to go back and look at my collection. I cover so much stuff. So, this is more of a simplified, very quick hitting, roll and see what happens type situation, but done on a map. So, kind of I have a little bit of a, I don't know. I think this is interesting. I like the system. I'm anxious to try out the system. I like the intent of having a very simplified war game, but the presentation leaves me a little bit is a little lacking, I guess, in that regard, because I've covered a lot of these kind of self-published game books, and you know, Lambo kind of sets the bar for those now, but even, you know, some of the other ones, Peterson and Mitchell and the like, you know, they add, there's a little bit more content to it, and Joe Fernandez's other book was just chock full of content, and of course O'Hare has just a ton of content and history in his game books. This one I felt like they could have done a little bit more. I felt I don't know if it was rushed or what happened, but it just felt like it could have been just a little bit uh, uh, more more put into this package. But then again, you know, it's up for you to decide. But that's why the reason why I decided to cover this one. I'll play it, and I might even do an after action to give my thoughts on the gameplay. If it accomplishes what it sets out to do, to be kind of a simplified small unit tactical filler type game, then maybe it does, maybe it's fine, but I don't know. It was just kind of weird as I was seeing all those blank pages. But that's me. That's my opinion. Yours, it's up to you to figure out what you want and what you like. Anyway, thanks for joining me for a cup of coffee. Hope you have a good one, and everybody, take care. Bonus content, I checked my bookshelf, and yes, I do have both Men of War Forward Together and Men of War French Foreign Legion Module 2, and it's the third one I did not have, but I'll take a look at it. Now, these cost a little bit more than the Delta game. However, you know, there's a lot more in these games. There's some blank pages there, but you get some more maps in there, some more player aids and charts. As you can see, some of the scenarios looking almost a little bit like Squad Leader back in the day. So there's the Art of Wargames logo. So I just felt like there's a little bit more content in these games than in that was in that D6. But again, maybe the D6 was trying to be super simple and easy to get to. But anyway, so I'll have to look at that for that third one. And who knows? I mean, the Delta 6 might be just up my alley and yours as well. Take care, all. Thanks for watching.